connection and communication. It's the starting block for quite literally everything. Every relationship, every moment, and every business. Every meeting is an introduction to your potential and realized accomplishments. And it all begins with you.
Imagine a situation where we can give somebody all the help, support, and advice that they would need to start a business under one roof.
Growing your business is about reaching your consumer. It's about business relationships that establish trust and respect. It's about partnerships that work together to unlock the gates of opportunity. But most importantly, it's about community.
My name's Christian Yandel. I'm the current CEO of Business Show Media. I've been in the events industry for 20 plus years now. It's extremely time consuming. There's a lot of things that you don't know, you can't know, and you really do need a lot of support and expert advice to be able to give yourself the best chance of being successful. So if we can get everybody that offers the help and advice, whether it be government bodies, potentially you need an accountant, you need somebody to help you with actually marketing, the website needs built, the list goes on and on. But that's the point, you could spend months, if not years, finding the right suppliers and finding the right help and support. But by providing a platform where in the space of 2 days you can go and access and find all this help and support, that was the main driver. Currently the London show, which is our flagship show, we get somewhere around the 25,000 visitors plus lots of add-on shows that come along as well. And yeah, like I say, we've done 40 odd editions, so I think it's safe to say that it's proved to be a success. And like I say, the best thing, we've helped tens of thousands, if not more, people start a business in that period. It's been fantastic, which has, as I say, led us to bringing it over to you guys in the US and also across to Asia and Singapore.
Welcome to Desire to Inspire, a podcast highlighting the excellence and importance of the convening of industry-driven minds for the creative execution of future innovations. In this show, we'll be talking to industry leaders to discuss what it means to drive business and the importance of community within it. I'm Don Schaefer, and that voice you heard earlier is Christian Yandel, CEO to 4 of the world's biggest events, including the Business Show, here to guide us through this landscape of opportunity. At the Business Show, we're ecstatic to hear from esteemed keynote speakers from globally recognized companies such as Amazon Music, Google, Netflix, Twitch, and Uber, who will share their insights and experiences. In the nature of doing business, let's get started. Conventions and expos are the cultural hub of professional communities. They serve as the ideation laboratory for the industry revolutionizing techniques of tomorrow and the creative playgrounds of today. With a joint venture like the B2B Marketing Expo hosting in tandem with the Business Show Los Angeles, there's twice the opportunity for business and marketing professionals alike to utilize one another's expertise by simply showing up. With free entry upon registration, why limit the possibilities to who can and who can't become tomorrow's next great CEO or marketing luminary? Today we begin by discussing the importance of community and intention with a beacon of creativity who wears many hats. A writer, producer, director, and executive consultant whose consulting business, Genius Air Entertainment, has landed him amongst entertainment's biggest companies. From Netflix to CBS Viacom, to Disney Plus to Warner Brothers, Winston T. Marshall is a name you likely won't soon forget. I'm curious how events like the Business Show help Genius Air Entertainment and Netflix in fulfilling creative solutions no matter the medium.
Being positioned around individuals who are in a specific location to compete and navigate in the sectors that they would like to thrive in. Simply from being a keynote, I'm meeting executives from Google and Oracle. Like these are things just instantly. I'm at a VIP breakfast with individuals who, based on how they feel about me or what they learn or connect with, they're going and talking to an executive team or a marketing team or a creative team, and then I'm getting emails people expressing, oh man, we saw that clip, or oh, we heard what you said about branding or about being a walking billboard at your last keynote. They can see a reference point or example of someone that in the moment they feel, oh wow, that information is making me think. Wow, that is making me feel.
What's the most remarkable connection you've made when attending events like this in the past?
At the 2022 B2B Marketing Expo at LA Convention Center, I had the opportunity to meet my partner and best friend, someone who makes me better. Bianca was in the audience at my first keynote, and that night at the VIP event, she had a little something to say to me that I'll never forget. She told me she felt like she found her tribe when she heard me speak, and flash forward a year and a half later, that's my best friend, my partner.
What do you think the future of business expos looks like by comparison to their current iteration?
We are headed to a point where festivals and expos like this will have a dual virtual and in-person simultaneous approach. There will be a networking hub in regards to an app where you not only can keep track of everything in regards to what's going on during the event, but you can, in real time, comment and interact and meet people and directly go to see their socials. I think a part of the future for things like youth marketing strategy, which I keynoted last November, and things like the business show, there'll be more of a tech-forward fusion of interaction and connection while actually having boots on the ground. You know, a live experience is just one aspect, but the connectivity of what you can actually do while interacting with each other in the same space, it really takes the experience to another level.
What does the future of audio evolution look like?
As far as where things are going, the optimization of the streaming landscape in all forms is the future, every way, shape, or form. And when I say streaming, I'm talking about the 8 major platforms in regards to Netflix, Amazon, Apple, Disney+, Max, Peacock, Paramount, and Hulu. Hulu will get absorbed into Disney+, but you catch the drift. And when it comes to visually watching things and listening to things, streaming and marketing are completely intertwined.
We're not trying to create a kind of a leaflet or pamphlet collection or business card collecting type of event. These guys are here for 2 days, and you've got access to people that ordinarily you wouldn't. So it's not just about saving these people time and being able to get everything under one roof. If you look at the help and advice that these guys are getting, you know, we've got some of the senior marketeers from the likes of Uber and Google and Microsoft and Spotify and Warner Bros. You know, you can't simply pick up the phone to these people and say, hey, I'm starting a new business, could you give me some advice? So, you know, that's the great thing, and it's free. This whole thing is paid for by our sponsors and our exhibitors. You know, these guys fund this so that the person that is receiving all this free help and advice, you know, that's where they're all going to get the greatest benefit.
In a world of ever-evolving technological advancements that leave us behind more screens, on more e-meetings, and developing more profiles, there's no comparison to the camaraderie and connection of expos like the business show. That in-person spark that launches industry-wide change and reimagined business-based communities all begins at the expo doors, connecting peer-to-peer in a sea of brimming intention and talent. It's where magic is made. Our next guest is someone who makes said magic happen. As the global head of scaled marketing and SMB marketing at Spotify, previous CEO to my help desk with over 20 years of team management and business growth, this guest is an advertising and marketing solutions visionary. This is Rochelle Sancherico. How do events like the business show aid Spotify in fulfilling advertising solutions on the platform?
We're always looking to tell stories on our platform, whether those be creator stories or advertiser stories. And so being able to connect with SMBs who are out there telling the stories of their businesses through advertising is always valuable. That authentic connection with SMBs helps us understand their pain points better, helps us understand their motivations better, and so that we can develop better product experiences for them, better listener experiences for our listeners on Spotify. We chose to partner with the Business Show because this is just a wonderful place to find the right types of customers for us. So it's a lot of SMBs, a lot of similarly minded people who are looking to grow their businesses or to improve their businesses. And it's also a place where there's unique and authentic connection.
Spotify seems to be all about communication, sharing recommendations and making the most of fan communities. I'm thinking about Spotify Wrapped, where users can share their personal listening stats, and features that allow users to share songs straight to other social platforms. So, what do you see as the importance of communication and community in Spotify's marketing campaigns?
So, absolutely. At Spotify, we are all about improving and enhancing that user experience. It is our main focus. And you see that in our product and our platform, of course, like Spotify Wrapped, like our AI DJ that was recently released. But you do also see that in our marketing. So, we actively partner with creatives and creators across genres, so both music and podcast, at all different stages of their career. We love working with up and coming artists in order to highlight their connection with our listeners and provide more direct access to those creators, because that's really what our listeners want. Now, on the advertiser side, because that's my main area of focus, we're marketing to brands and trying to find new companies who we feel like their messages could be best told on the Spotify platform. And we want to ensure that their connection with our listeners is with that right message to the right listeners at the right time. And speaking to brands and businesses, we try to highlight the ways that we develop our advertising products that they can then use to find their audiences and how we create them in order to connect with our listeners instead of distracted from it. We don't want our advertising products to distract from our day-to-day listener experience. We want it to be an enhancement. I truly believe that good advertising is actually really great and valuable and fun.
From a creative ideation standpoint, what kind of inspiration do you find in the midst of events like the Business Show?
I find inspiration it really comes back to connection. So I'm most inspired by people, and then that really helps generate new ideas. Every company has a story, just like every person. So I'm really looking to the Business Show as a place to better understand SMB advertisers' pain points, motives, and work with them to solve those.
Obviously, we're speaking now on a podcast, and podcasting has been something Spotify has really focused on in recent years. So, what do you see as the power of meaningful conversation, whether in person at events or through podcasting, for brands in the future?
Yeah. And so for brands, there's huge power in conversation. And I'm just speaking about podcasts and conversations that can happen there specifically. Personally, I have been a huge fan of podcasts since they came on the scene. And now on Spotify, we have over 5 million podcast titles, which is like hard to believe. But I love podcasts because they're such a great medium for storytelling and conversations. And that's why it's a wonderful place for businesses to be to tell their stories. And one other element of this is, that conversation. We've seen this real shift into authenticity around brand messaging, where companies really do need to have true, real conversations with their customers and potential customers. Podcasts are the perfect medium for this because if you think about it, it's kind of what's stripped out of podcasts. So there are no lights, like You can't see what the podcaster is wearing. You're just hearing the words and understanding the meaning behind it. And then that conversation just resonates so much more. So brands that leverage podcasts and other key places to have conversations, they're going to end up developing real and lasting connections with their customers much more than if it was more of a broadcast approach where it's a one-way versus an authentic conversation.
So, what's Spotify's superpower within the market?
I would say I've never worked at a company that is so focused on improving the user experience and then figuring out how to just grow the benefit of that experience and that ecosystem over time. So it's just a true focus on ensuring that we're leveraging technology to create that great experience. And it's one of those things where the business results will happen if you do the right thing by your consumer. We also have a rapidly positive customer base. I was talking to people in India this morning, and they were just so excited about the growth of Spotify in the Indian market recently. And so I would say that that's probably our superpower, is just the feeling that we generate within our customers, given the focus that we have on their experience.
Is there anything as far as plans for the future regarding what's coming for Spotify?
Yeah, I have to say I don't have any crystal ball about the future on the consumer side. I think we'll continue to figure out ways to improve and personalize the user experience there. I can say on the advertiser side, there is an increased emphasis on improving the experience for our clients. So creating easier and more flexible ways for them to get their brand message out through us, finding clearer paths to very effective creative, which is something I'm very passionate about. That's a large part of what my team does. And so a lot of advertisers, they have, display ads at the ready or even video ads, but audio is not part of their stable. And so we are figuring out ways to make it easier for everybody to have an effective audio ad strategy. And that's something that is very different than other approaches because of the need for authentic conversations like we were talking about before.
Finding your customers starts with discovering solutions. Through community, we can discover the organic infusion of answers to the creative solutions being asked by our world's business leaders. We work together to solve problems, so the only things our customers see are solutions.
The thing that shone through was just the entrepreneurial spirit in everybody. Everybody kind of, wherever you are in the world, they plug into this and you meet fantastic people that are trying to do fantastic things together and giving them that platform to do it. So, on that basis, we're just going to keep on taking it to as many people as possible. We hope that the first show that we do in the US is a huge success. As long as we get enough people that are inspired and they go out and they start a business, and our exhibitors, they do enough business and, obviously make enough contacts and do enough deals that it makes it worth that. That's all we're aiming for. Yeah, we're really excited.
Thanks for joining us today in discovering what inspires our professional business leaders. This has been the Desire to Inspire podcast. I want to thank Christian Yandel for helping us glean keen insight into all that the business show has to offer for this year and years to come. I'm Don Schaefer. See you at the show. Another Everything Podcast production. Visit everythingpodcast.com. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast.